Hey game developers, Shashank here from SansArts. This video is a part of my Skillshare class, and if you want to enroll for my class, just click the link in the description which gives you free 1 month Skillshare Premium. That will not only allow you to enroll in my class, you can enroll in any class which is available on Skillshare. The class in Skillshare will be later available on Udemy. In this video, we'll create a scrolling background for our game. In the assets, right click, create a new material. I'll call it BG. Over here, select shader to unlit texture. And here, select the texture as Space Runner Art BG. Now, in the hierarchy, right click, create a 3D quad. I'll resize it so that it fits the screen. Now, drag and drop the material over the quad. Now, you see that the object has the image same that of this background. Now, in the BG material, if we change the offset, you notice that the image will scroll, right? But it is not scrolling in a perfect manner. When this object or this part of the sprite leaves the screen, it must enter from this side. But it's not happening, right? To fix this, we just need to go to the sprite and select wrap mode from clamp to repeat, so that the sprite repeats itself when we change the offset. So now when we change the offset, you see that the sprite is repeating and it is not being wrapped. Super. I'll set back the offset to 0. Now we need to achieve this through code. So therefore, add a script to your quad. I'll call it scroll. First, I'll rename quad to BG and then I'll open the script. In order to change the offset through script, first we need a reference for the renderer attached to the game object. Therefore, first we'll create a renderer. I'll call it ren, and in the start function, I'll say ren equals get component renderer. So what this does, every time when we play the game or when we hit the play button, the renderer attached to this BG object will be assigned to ren variable. It's not that always the renderer attached to the BG will be assigned to the ren variable. The renderer attached to the object to which you have attached the script will be assigned to the ren variable. Now we got the renderer. After that, we need to access the offset and change its value. So here we got the renderer. Next, we can get the material and then change the offset. For that, I'll say ren.material.offset.main texture offset. So if I hover over it, it says the texture offset of the main texture. So this is the offset which is over here. Offset is a vector too, right? It's because it has two values, x and y. So therefore I'll say equals new vector2, and over here I only need to change the x offset, not the y offset. So therefore, I'll pass 0 as the y value, and over here, I'll create a public float. I'll call it scroll speed, and over here, I'll say scroll speed, and I'll multiply it with time because I need to gradually increase the scroll speed, or I need to gradually increase the offset value. If I just say speed, or if I just say scroll speed, every time the x value of the offset will be set same as the scroll speed. If the scroll speed is 5, it will be set to 5. And over here nothing happens. We need to scroll. Therefore, we need to increase the offset value gradually. For that, we need to multiply it with time. I'll save this and head back to Unity. I'll set the scroll speed as 1. And now if I hit play, you should notice that the background is scrolling. And yes, it is. If you enter negative values over here, the background scrolls in the opposite direction. If you increase it, scrolling speed increases. We can even enter float values, decimal values, as I have declared it as float. I can even enter 0.1, 0.2, 0.777 and so on. Now I'll just set it to 0.3. Yeah, I'll set it to 0.3. We'll drag and drop the scroll script inside the scripts folder. In this way, you can create a scrolling background. There's another method of creating a scrolling background. If your player is moving, you need to just instantiate sprites and place it over here. Then delete the sprites which are behind the player. And again, you need to instantiate the sprites, delete the sprite which is behind. So this process continues. For this game, as the player's position is fixed, we'll not be instantiating the sprites and deleting them. By this method, you can create a scrolling background. If you want to increase the y value gradually, you can just go back to the script and then pass 0 as the x value and scroll speed multiplied with time.time as the y value. I'll just hit play and yeah, it's scrolling and its y value is gradually increasing. If you add a negative sign, the direction reverses. If you want to scroll the background in both the axes, in the x as well as y axis, just go over here, pass the x value as scroll speed into time.time as well. If you want to have a different scroll speed for the x axis and y axis, just create two variables saying scroll speed x and scroll speed y. If you want to scroll the background with same values, the x and y axis, just pass the same variable into time.delta time. If you want different scroll speed for y and for x, create two variables and pass them over here. I'll reset the offset. I'll enter the scroll speed x as 0.3 and y as 0.1. So now the background must scroll in both x and y axis, and it is. Yeah, to convert into a negative number, direction reverses. In this game, only want to scroll in x axis. So what should we do? I think you guessed it. We only want one variable and then pass 0 as the y value. That's it. Back scroll speed as 0.3 and save the scene. We'll just resize the quad so that it fits the screen. Yeah, now save the scene. I have saved it as sample scene. Yeah, that's it about the scrolling background. Thanks for watching.